I never expected my trip to the zoo to turn into a nightmare. It was a crisp autumn day when I decided to visit the small, rustic zoo on the outskirts of town. I thought it would be a peaceful way to spend my Saturday afternoon, a chance to escape the stress of my daily life. Little did I know, I was about to encounter something beyond my wildest nightmares. The zoo was eerily quiet when I arrived. It was as if the entire world had held its breath. I paid my admission fee and wandered through the desolate pathways. The animals were nowhere to be seen, and the enclosures were empty. I felt a growing sense of unease, but I chalked it up to the off-season visit and continued on. As I ventured deeper into the zoo, I noticed a peculiar sight. A man in a zookeeper's uniform was standing beside one of the empty cages. His appearance was strange, to say the least. His skin was unnaturally pale, and his eyes had a peculiar luminescence to them. I approached cautiously, wondering if perhaps he was a new hire or a volunteer. "Excuse me," I said tentatively, "where are all the animals?" The zookeeper turned to me, his lips curving into a chilling smile. "Ah, you see?" he replied in a voice that sent shivers down my spine. "The animals are resting. We have a special exhibit today." He gestured toward a nearby building that I hadn't noticed before. It was a small, unassuming structure with a sign that read, "Exotic Creatures from Beyond." Curiosity got the better of me, and I followed the zookeeper into the building. Inside, the air was cold and sterile, and the walls were lined with strange contraptions and eerie equipment. I felt like I had stepped into a different world altogether. The zookeeper led me further into the building until we reached a dimly lit room. As I entered, I couldn't believe my eyes. There, in cages of varying sizes, were humans. They looked terrified, their faces filled with a mixture of confusion and fear. I stumbled backward in shock. "What is this?" I demanded, my voice trembling. The zookeeper's smile widened, revealing rows of sharp, glistening teeth. "This is our special exhibit," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "Exotic creatures from beyond, as I mentioned." I realized with horror that the humans in the cages were not ordinary people. They were being subjected to strange experiments, their bodies altered in grotesque and unnatural ways. Some had extra limbs, others had elongated heads, and all of them bore the unmistakable signs of suffering. I turned to flee, but the zookeeper's hand shot out, grabbing my arm with a strength I couldn't have imagined. "You won't be leaving," he hissed, his eyes glowing brighter now. "You're going to be our newest addition." Panic surged through me as I struggled to break free, but the zookeeper's grip was unyielding. He began to lead me toward one of the empty cages, and I knew I had to do something, anything, to escape this nightmare. Summoning all the strength and courage I could muster, I lunged at the zookeeper, catching him off guard. We tumbled to the ground, and I managed to wriggle free from his grasp. I sprinted out of the room and through the twisted corridors of the building, my heart pounding in my chest. As I burst out into the daylight, I could hear the zookeeper's enraged screams echoing behind me. I didn't stop running until I was far from that nightmarish place. I never returned to that zoo, and I never spoke of what I had witnessed to anyone. But the memory of that alien zookeeper and his horrifying exhibit still haunts my dreams, a reminder that there are things in this world, or beyond it, that we were never meant to understand.